Oh, I'm doing that, am I?
Well,
we can just go. We can just go. Hang on. Hang on.
There's no one here yet.
I quite like the sound of people. And lunch. Hello and welcome to the Lowdown, the cut-down version of your highlight show. It's very, very cold here where we are. Are you cold?
I'm all right, actually. Your setup, hat, gloves, everything is making me feel warm, so I'm okay at the minute.
You're vicariously warm. I mean, I've got no body fat, and he's carrying quite a lot. He had a big Christmas and hasn't quite got past it yet, so I get very, very cold very easily. Welcome to the Lowdown. Great to have you here. We appreciate all of the comments, all the feedback you leave on YouTube comments. One in particular that stuck out for me was from a man called Dominic, who said he loves the Shanks and Topsy show.
I like that one. My favourite one.
Yeah,
Thank
cheers,
you.
Dom.
Thank you. We appreciate all feedback. Welcome.
You're a great guy. No, you're a great guy. I do hang around. We're going to crack into the Premiership in a minute. First of all, we're going to catch up with some of the Premiership's elite players playing for England at the weekend, have a chat about that. Topsy, early yellow card. I say early, earliest red card. Not yet. Earliest red card in Test rugby history. I heard yesterday on the telly, which means it's definitely true. For Charlie Ewels, sitting there thinking, this is going to ruin the game, but it didn't, did it?
Absolutely didn't. That was the phrase that was bandied about. It's going to ruin the game. It made it a spectacle. It got the crowd involved. Twickenham felt like real vicious. The crowd were involved. They were angry. They were baying for blood. The Irish were in town looking to go on and get in the mix to try and win this championship. It was everything you wanted from a Test match, and it brought England to life. And that was really good to see that resolve. And me, probably like a lot of others, the red card came. I thought, right, Ireland are going to run away with it. The ball speed at the time was so quick. Like the ball was in and away. It's like England can't get near it, but they found a way. Set piece was huge.
Well, let's talk about individuals. Let's do the set piece. Let's talk about. I know you played on the wing, Tops, but let's talk about Ellis Genge.
This is your
moment.
But
let's talk about Ellis Genge. I mean, Ellis Genge. If you're going to run out with your hair done that and looking that perfect, that tight, you've got to play well. He never plays badly. He's playing better and better. That is the best game in the tie. Well, he was leathering people in defence as well. All right, he wasn't making breaks, but they only had 14 men. There were not many lads going to be making breaks with 14 men against 15, especially a team as good as Ireland. Genge was just outstanding. This Six Nations, I thought, was really important for him, just to single out one player, because it was almost like there are such good loose heads in England. You think about Marley, think about Mako Vunipola, not even there. Bevan Rodd's done nicely when he's come in. Such good loose heads. This was his chance to nail down that shirt and make it his own, and he was mega, wasn't he? Tell us what you thought of Jack Nowell. Love him.
Right, talking about set piece, talking about scrum, any winger willing to say, right, stick
he was
me
in there, he was in there, wasn't he?
I mean, there's always been a talk about he's a forward and he can play in the backs, but he just gets involved, doesn't he? He adds an extra element, that dynamism, that power. And in a period where England needed to roll their sleeves up, get stuck in, make it a bit nitty-gritty, he was the man for it. Like, incredible performance. Of course, they lost at the end, ran out of steam. There were a few costly mistakes at 15-all, which I think gave away momentum, which gave Ireland that belief to come in and win the game. But England will take a lot of heart in terms of that's the kind of level they need to get to now, not rely on a red card to emotionally charge them. How do they replicate that now going away to France next weekend? It's going to be huge.
I mean, France, a couple of days ago, I was thinking, how on earth do England beat France? But having watched them on Friday night, there's a good chance. Might not even take 14 of them. Right, thanks for that, Topsy. Lovely stuff. We're going to get stuck into the Premiership action. And to tell you what's coming up, we've enlisted the help of the East Grinstead Under-18s.
Hi, we are from the East Grinstead Under-18 Girls Rugby team. Coming up in this week's show, highlights from round 20.
On Saturday, Worcester Warriors took on Exeter Chiefs.
Leicester Tigers played London Irish.
Newcastle Falcons faced Saracens.
And Sale Sharks played Gloucester.
And on Sunday, it was Bristol Bears against Harlequins.
And Northampton Saints against Wasps.
Enjoy the show!
Thank you, ladies. Very nicely done indeed. Now, last week we asked you who you thought the best player in the league was. Simple question. The answer, of course, is Andre Esterhazen, but some of you thought differently. Spade and Archer Blues said that Agustin Creevy, London Irish's Argentinian hooker, was the best player in the league for their money. What do you reckon for that, Tops?
A good shout. He's sitting at the top of the try-scoring charts at the minute, scoring tries for fun, leading London Irish. At 36, 37, I think he is now, still getting the job done. That head-to-head matchup, him and Montoya this weekend, is going to be huge. Big matchup.
It's like Godzilla against
Kong.
Who else is big? Yeah, that's it. I know Godzilla. Right, down to business.
Good combination from Leicester. Maroney through the gap. Nandolo, little step from him. Namani Nandolo reasserts his and Leicester's dominance on proceedings.
Big win for Leicester Tigers at home, and another red card to talk about. Curtis Rona this time. Topsy, any issues with that decision?
No issues at all. It's a shot to the head, it's direct contact, there is force, and you're trying to change players' behaviours, and if we don't get that, you're asking the referee to make a decision, and it's the right call. And
Tuasui had nailed Jasper Wiese already. What a great shot. Rona just didn't need to do it. He's had a great season, but it was sort of double, triple unwise, wasn't it? Made life difficult for themselves against, there's 14 of them, which doesn't help, and it did catch up with them in the end, London Irish, and also it didn't help. There were only 14 of them. They had to play against Nemani Nandolo, who was in outrageous form on the wing.
Oh, he's incredible. I just love watching him play. His ability to go down the wing, take out 3 players and still offload the ball, majestic
Holds
stuff.
it like a cricket ball, doesn't he?
I mean, he's playing with it. It's so small in his hand, but he's just able to manoeuvre it and to create, and it's brilliant to watch. Then you use him up the middle as well as that powerhouse runner. He is brilliant, and it just makes Leicester such a threatening team that they have this variation. They can go to him when they need to. They've got their maul game, their set piece as well. Very, very strong, looking odds on for the playoffs. But in London Irish, you know, they showed what they're about. They went up there, started really well, got the first score. We're in that game for a long time. The red card comes, a yellow card comes as well, penalty try. And when you're going away from home, especially in these teams in and around them, you can't have those moments go against you. But they dug in. Henry Arundel comes off the bench, starts.
He looked tidy, didn't he?
Wasn't meant to start. He starts, has a really good game. One try, which he could have passed, which he'd like to have back, but a wonderful finish in the end. He's a huge talent. London Irish still in a good place, but they'll understand that they need to take these chances with the games coming up.
Last man. And there goes De Preer, and De Preer is through, and he's got his South African mate on his shoulder, and Faf de Klerk has got the score.
Previously, we've looked at teams making a run in the Six Nations periods, those teams trying to sneak their way up the table. I'm going to have a bit of a player watch for this week's take and have a look at Faf de Klerk, his impact for the Sale Sharks. Since he's been back to form and fitness, he's having a whale of a time, and this player is going to be the difference in getting Sale to that final on June the 18th. We have a look here. Nines at the minute, they're all action. They do everything. Here he is, the end of the defensive line. Sale manufacture a turnover. This is as good as a traditional 50-22 at the minute. De Preer kicks the ball long. Faf is the first chaser there. The ball is going to stay in until he gets there. Small man, big impact. He makes a tackle into touch. Sale get the possession from the line out. That is what you want from your 9. You need a kicking option. You've got a big forward pack. They want to line out 5 metres out. There you go. Faf de Klerk steps up and delivers. It's about players having big impact in those key moments. Here's Faf again, orchestrating. This is a set play off the training ground, but it needs to be sold. Look at his eyes, looking one way, delivers the pass the other way. Sale manufacture a line break, and there he is again on his bike, making sure that if there is a line break, if there's a ruck, that ball is away within 1 to 2 seconds so they can continue to take advantage. Here he is again, having a look, scanning with the breakdown. He's going to pick up his mate, just creeping around this side of the ruck. He's going to make a run in here. No look pass, out the back door. Again, it's planned, it's worked on in training, but that relationship with his players is key. And of course, he pops up with a try as well to boot. So having Faf back is huge for the Sale Sharks. And while I've been eulogising about Faf de Klerk, I know you, Flat, you've had your eye on a couple of forwards in that game as well.
Yeah, like Faf, love Faf, but he's got some big bits of kit to play with, which probably makes his life a little bit easier. And those Du Preer boys, all 24 of them that play for Sale Sharks, all 17 of them that started at the weekend, I love them all. I love JP Du Preer's, how tall is he? 6'10" or 11, isn't he?
Huge.
His acceleration off the back of that ruck, patchy Gloucester defence, it has to be said, but that's a really good bit of acceleration, good read, good awareness and athleticism for someone so leggy. Dan Du Preer's break through the middle and the ball to Faf de Klerk for fast try, class. And Jean-Luc Du Preer, he might be my favourite, I'm not sure, of all of them, but so abrasive week after week, so hard to play against, must be just a pain to play against. How he finishes that with the go-go gadget arm, not quite sure. Really good win for Sale. Gloucester, though, I know they haven't won this weekend, but in terms of league position, they're still doing just fine. They're 1 win off, being comfortably in that top 4. The driving maul's been a real weapon for them. Nearly got them out of dodge at the weekend up in Manchester. But I want to talk to you about something more specific. That Charlie Chapman running, you call it a running, that 95-metre try. I imagine that in rugby terms is what I would have nightmares about. That is my worst nightmare. I guess it wouldn't be for you. I'm just thinking if you're meant to be the quick one. If you get caught on an intercept, on a breakaway try like that, you never live it down. Do you not panic about that?
That is banter for weeks if you ever get caught. There's almost stages in a run like that. You've got the first 30 metres where you're like, right, I'm away, I'm going to score. And then you're like, right, is anybody chasing me? You turn around, have a look. There's always someone chasing you, trying to corner flag you. From there on, it's head down, just get to the corner as fast as you can. Hope you don't get caught. Chapman didn't get caught. Big score for Gloucester.
Yeah, there's one Keno chasing you. Like, give it a rest and stop showing off to your coach, mate.
Ball along the line. Hurl steps inside, beats to Hurl, accelerating away, going for the hat-trick! Under the posts, Alex Hurl's hat-trick!
Right, first up, Topsy, Hendrickson, red card, quarter of an hour in. Any problems with that?
Absolutely not, mate. Stonewall red. It was, you can't have any complaints about that. We're trying to change habits and behaviours. Definitely a red card.
Agreed, easy call. It's one of those games where you get an early red, a bit like England at the weekend, an early red, and you're sitting watching, you think, oh no, it's going to ruin the game. But it didn't. Unless you're an Exeter Chiefs fan, this was a good game, wasn't it?
Really good game. Again, it did not ruin the game, absolutely not. It kept things open, kept things fluid. Chiefs in good form, thinking, right, we need to roll up our sleeves here and still get the win. Worcester probably thinking, right, we've got a real opportunity now to kick on and get an elusive win and really kickstart our season. Really good game, entertaining from start to finish. Good result for Worcester, though. They needed that.
They did need it. In terms of Exeter Chiefs, it's a series of shocking moments, wasn't it? Sort of horror moments for them in rugby terms. You've got the early red card, puts you right on the back foot. Then you're forcing it without the numbers. You intercept try. You've got Josh Hodge, such a capable young fullback, shocker with a bounce of a ball. And when you think of those little moments and how few points separate the two teams at the end, it's the sort of game that will probably haunt Exeter Chiefs in a way, but it wasn't all about them. Worcester had an opportunity, and boy, did they take it.
They did, absolutely. Two sides to this, of course. You look at the Chiefs, and they'll be devastated in that. Obviously, they got the red card, a lot of errors, a lot of things in their control that they gave to Worcester and allowed them to capitalise. But like I said, boy, did they. They've got some unbelievable young talent. Vin Smith at 10 is brilliant. Hurl with the hat-trick, brilliant as well. Hewitt at 15, good. Dole comes off the bench, scores a try. Yes, Hodge falls over, but you make your own luck sometimes. And in a phase where they're rebuilding, trying to rediscover who they are, if you can unearth some really good young talent, you're in a really good place. So credit to Worcester for sticking at it.
Yeah, they have unearthed some, and they do look sharp. Even though Chiefs were down to 14 for most of the game, it still felt like an upset with respect. So could Newcastle cause an upset at home to Saracens, who've beaten them the last 19 times they've played them?
This could be the game right here. Ezekwe takes. And here comes this wedge. This scarlet tank trundling towards the corner flag, wheeling and peeling and whirling and not quite scoring. McFarlane stretching, contorting his body back. Andy Christie locks and loads, and into the corner goes Shagan. There's the bonus point score. And that might be the try that kills off the Falcons.
That's 20 in a row for Sarries then against Newcastle. Pretty comfortable win. Quick point of admin. Any problems with the penalty try against Mike Brown after the thingy, the one-handed thingy?
No, definitely not. I mean, I know Mike Brown won't agree, of course, when Woody, but it's just clumsy, isn't it? Go with it with two hands, dive, at least look like you're trying to regather the ball.
Be better at acting, is what you're saying.
That as well,
yeah.
Go get an Oscar. But you put decisions like that in the referee's hands and you give them no choice. So disappointing with the penalty try. One man who did impress in defeat, I know someone you like, George McGuigan.
Oh, I think he's just a class player. It's an odd one because as soon as you talk about George McGuigan, you indirectly feel like you're insulting Jamie Blamire, who is second choice at Newcastle but was on the bench for England, has leapfrogged George McGuigan into the England squad. It's not a comment on him. Love watching Jamie Blamire. Really, really good young player. Really good hooker. But George McGuigan, for me, is international class. And both hookers on the day. Wollstonecroft is scoring. He's averaging 9 tries a game at the moment.
Both
I think
really
I'm right.
good.
8.3 tries a game. Just can't stop scoring. But he is behind Jamie George at club level when Jamie George is there. So it would feel a bit weird for Wollstonecroft to leapfrog Jamie George into the England squad, right? Wouldn't it? But that is exactly what's happened at Newcastle. Again, not a comment on Blamire, but a comment on McGuigan, who I think is just top class and has been for years. A fantastic hooker, and Newcastle will be over the moon. He doesn't get picked by England, frankly, because he's there for them every week, and he pretty much never doesn't play well. Ultimately, a comfortable victory for Sarries. They just had too much kind of everywhere, didn't they?
Yeah, it was. When they needed to go up a level, they could. They still got superstars in that team. You think 6 Nations period, you look at their roster and you think, that is a strong team. And they're just going about their business, picking up wins. Semi-finals is there for the taking for them, and who knows what happens after that.
Yep, you're backing them. I think we probably all are.
There were 2 games on Sunday. We're here at Franklin's Gardens for Northampton against Wasps. But first of all, it's down to Bristol for the Bristol Bears against the Harlequins.
But this is prime attacking position for Harlequins. They've got the power play as well, 15 on 14. Bristol pack down to 7. Danny Kerr smacking backsides, barking at his players. And Jack Walker's got it under control.
It's a great ball.
They're getting closer, and they're there.
It's a very good ball.
Harlequins take advantage of the yellow card.
Atkinson, his slot. Porter. Is that a knock-on? A referee's happy to let it go. There's a look around, but Skosana's gone. He's really gone.
Right, so let's have a quick look at the table, and it's still Leicester Tigers leading the way for that race for the playoffs. They're sitting in first with Saracens hot on their heels in second. That race for those final positions in third and fourth still going all the way to the wire, really contested in that middle of the table. And after Worcester's big win against Exeter, they're back off the bottom of the table, but Bath did have a bye week.
Round 21 on Friday night, live on BT Sport. It's the old M5 derby, Gloucester against Worcester. On Saturday afternoon, it's Bath Sale, it's London Irish Northampton, it's Saracens Bristol, live on BT Sport, and it's Wasps against Newcastle. The Sunday game, down at Sandy Park, Exeter Chiefs against Leicester Tigers on BT Sport. Right, that's what's coming up next week. We're not done with this week yet. We've got the Grassroot Beauts for you, and you're going to like this.
Oh, the watching trees at North Hingsea Park, captivated by what they've seen so far. Barbarians continuing to press. Oxford in the green and white stripes, defending hard. Looks like they might have it back. Joey Edwards nicely out of the back to Ian Watkins. Harry Gillett, George Hanley, Joe Barnes, the winger, wider, nicely taken to Harry Willoughby. And this is Alex de Jong, red socks, red boots, pumping furiously. Willoughby again. Harlem Globetrotters it away. Scrum half Matty Lay will have the finishing touches. He's been with the club all his life, and his workmates at the Crane Hire Company will hear all about that on Monday morning.
Decent effort, great try. Enjoyed that, didn't we?
Brilliant, wasn't it? Offload Central,
Yeah.
coast to coast, Matty Lay, walking into work on a Monday on a high. Great
He's
stuff.
a king, he's a king.
He's
isn't
the
he?
king, he's
Yeah.
the king. And if you want to get involved, submit your entries as well using the hashtag Grassroot Beaut.
T's and C's do apply, but we
do.
don't worry too much about those, do we,
That's
Tops?
all right, that's all right.
See you next week, guys.